Welcome everybody to a look at a new 4K release in the form of 2023's Godzilla Minus One. Yeah, this was directed by Takashi Yamazaki, who unfortunately I've not seen anything else from before, but this is definitely his most well-known effort in terms of, worldwide gross. Because as a kaiju film clocking in at 125 minutes long, it made between 113.6 million and 116 million dollars worldwide, which is on a tiny budget for a film of this size and scope of only 10 to 15 million. Yeah, that really does put it into a perspective in terms of the way this looks in comparison to the MonsterVerse films, which cost anywhere from 10 to 20 times that amount sometimes. So yeah, um, which is surprising given how great this looks in comparison to those films. The only person I've seen anything from before has been Ryunosuke Kamiki, who was also in Your Name and The Great Yokai War. So, in post war Japan, Godzilla brings new devastation to an already scorched landscape. With no military intervention or government help in sight, the survivors must join together in the face of despair and fight back against an unrelenting horror. So, when I first watched this at the cinema, I was genuinely taken aback by how incredible this kaiju film is. Now, granted, I have seen plenty of the kaiju films from Japan, from the Godzilla series. It's not just the American ones that I am familiar with, but none of them had quite hit this level of filmmaking quality, I feel, which isn't to say that any of them were bad, or some of them weren't all that bad, should I say. Several of them were actually absolutely amazing, but this felt better in certain ways, which I'll get to. So, principally, that is because it isn't just a kaiju film, as it does feature thematic weight in spades, which also was the case for certain films in the previous films in the series. The original, for instance, definitely being one of those ones. Um, but it also has characters to care about, which is a rarity with these films to have both or even either, while also feeling like a drama with its family dynamic. Then you also have the sound design, visual effects, cinematography, pacing, and getting across the size and sheer scale of Godzilla, which are all excellent. The score is also brilliant, especially when it brings the classic theme from the 1954 original back. The cast is also great, the character interactions are effective, and it is wholly engrossing throughout. To top all of that off, the attack on Ginza is one of the best kaiju attacks ever put to film, especially as it is a clear analogy for the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, which makes it effective as a set piece of spectacle. Uh, as a piece of spectacle. But when the dust ultimately settles, it is also highly impactful in terms of the visual imagery and the quite clear effects of such an attack on not just property but people as well. Yeah, an incredible film to be honest, and one that I am glad that has finally been given a pop-up release over here in the UK, as up until now it hasn't. We've had multiple versions of this film released over here now. This is the one I went for just because I really like the look of the steelbook, but there were also other versions as well that you can get your hands on. But this is also in 4K. Has that on the reverse of the steelbook as well. And yeah, we have 3 discs going with this as well. So we have 4K on this side, and we have the Blu-ray, and then the special features as well. So yeah, pretty sure you'll see it if I open it up. Yeah, bonus, as you can see there, bonus. So yeah, on the actual disc itself, let me just get the little leaflet. I forgot about it. We have making of the film, making of VFX, special program for the release of the movie, event footage, which includes press conference, world premiere, and red carpet event, a talk event as well by Takashi Yamazaki, the director, as well as a trailer collection for the film on top of all of that. Yeah, and no issues at all with the 4K or the sound quality in either respects. Granted, I've not been able to go through the entire film. I don't really have much time these days to watch films I've already seen, especially ones that are in excess of 2 hours. But I did go through the main parts of it, and yeah, the sound quality is exceptional. which was also the case for when I saw it at the cinema. So it's great to see that that has been translated to home video really nicely. But then also the picture quality is excellent as well, which is, yeah, to be expected when it comes to 4K these days. But yeah, it's just really nice to see that they've not messed that up either on the transfer of this either. So yeah, it's an amazing film. It's a 5 out of 5 for me. One of the few that ever get that rating, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, I think I've rated less than 200 films in that with that highly. Especially when you consider how many films I've actually seen, which is well in excess of 4,000. So yeah, not very many get 5 out of 5, but this is definitely one of those ones that deserve it. And I think it was one of the few from last year that I actually gave that rating. It might have been the only one, in fact, but still, it's highly recommended that you see it, especially if you're into kaiju films, especially the ones that are a bit more serious. Um, but if you have seen it, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. But nonetheless, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.